Bahujan Dravida brothers and sisters. First of all, I express my greet through Guruji Ka Khalsa, Guruji Ki Fateh. So last 2 days, the national conference have been going on discussion on in defense of constitution, livelihood and social rights, inclusive nationalism, people's democracy. So when I got an invitation from our Dr. Rahulji, so immediately I thought that how many years, last 75 years after independence, we have been continuously discussing about the problems when we are going to discuss about the solution. Because solution according to the constitution, solution lies in the power only. Power only destroy the power. So the power is in the hands of our ideological enemy. But how we can destroy that ideology? Because every country has their own ideology. Based on that ideology, the people also shaped according to that ideology, and communities also shaped according to that ideology. When it comes to India concern, which ideology is ruling? It is not ruling last 75 years. It is ruling, that ideology is ruling more than 2000 years. Here the majority people of the SC, ST, OBC and religious minority, they are suffering worse than animal because of that ideology. So whether we are talking about, more people are talking about the Marxism, whether this ideology, the Marxism, will kill this Brahminism. Because according to the Indian, the majority people, they divided into 7,000 castes. Every caste have their own class also. The class is around more than 14,000 classes in India. 14,000 classes. And every caste also, they are thinking about their own nationalism. Not Tamil nationalism, not Bengal nationalism, or Maratha nationalism. Many people are thinking about Mahar nationalism, Chamar nationalism, Valmiki nationalism, Brahminical nationalism. So how we can finish this ideology? That is a very big question in front of us. So last 2 days before, the one bill has been introduced to remove the word secular and socialist from the preamble of our constitution. Bhim Singh, he wanted to remove that word secular and socialist in the preamble of our constitution. For the Dalit, the constitution is not a book. We people in Tamil Nadu, we don't use that word Dalit. We are the real Munivasi of this country. Why we want to use that Dalit word? It is a liberation. It is a time in Indian history that a document declared that oppressed are equal to the oppressor. Last 2000 years, according to the Varna, whoever born on the head, they declared as a Brahmin, and shoulder the Chatri, and in the stomach, they declared as a Vaishya. Whoever born in the foot, the Brahminical ideology declared them as a Shudra. In Tamil Nadu and in Kerala also, around 100 years before, below the untouchable also there was one caste. That caste was unseeable caste. Indian people may aware about untouchable. In Kerala, the Nambudiri Brahmin declared one community as a unseeable. If any person see that community, that is a sin, that is a pav. 100 years before, around, I think in 1855, they got to wear the upper cloth, the women. That was our history. And you know the Peshwa Brahmin, what the Peshwa Brahmin did in Pune. They tied a groom in their wrist. So constitution only had given some chance to get an education. It is not mere a document. It is our weapon to liberate. But when it comes to person who is the ruler, who is ruling this country, the constitution is not ruling. The Manu is ruling this country. Manu Dharma is ruling this country. That law is invisible. You can see the constitution is visible. But Manu Dharma is invisible. The invisible law is ruling this country. Around more than 36 times, more than 30 times, the High Court and the Supreme Court, when they give the verdict or any other judgment, they refer the Manu Dharma in their judgment. The judiciary also is controlling by the Brahminical forces. There is no reservation in judiciary. There is no reservation in Rajya Sabha. There is no reservation in ambassador. There is no reservation in governor. They are all working as tools to save the Manu Dharma. But simply we are sitting in the walls and we are discussing day to day, we are discussing about the problem. So political power is the only solution. So that's what Baba Sahib Ambedkar told. Political power is the only master key which can open any lock. Whether it is a social problem, economical problem, cultural problem, education problem, political power is the only master key. Nobody cannot escape from the power, political power. We have to prove ourselves that the vote is the only weapon in our hand. Rest of the rights we don't have, even though it is in constitution. But when it comes to the rulers' concern, those who are ruling this country, they never ever allow any other rights. But the voting right is the more important, even though the Sir, they wanted to destroy in the name of Sir that every state, the election commission entering into every state, and they wanted to finish Dalit, Adivasis, and as well as minorities votes. Because Dalits don't have any land. Even though I brought up from the Dalit, now I escaped from the Dalit. Because right now I am in the Sikhi. Sikhi never believe the caste hierarchy. But I am here in Delhi. My vote is in Tamil Nadu. Our people, so-called Dalit people, don't have any land. They always migrate from one place to one place. How the Sir will serve their citizenship? And you know, Adivasi, lot of minings and as well as the excavation is also happening in the forest and in other areas. How they secure their rights, voting rights? They wanted to finish their voting rights in the name of the Sir also. And you know, in Tamil Nadu, around 14, I think more than 14 universities still now not fulfilled vice chancellors. That fight is going on in Tamil Nadu between governor and as well as chief minister, who has a more power. The puppet, these governors are sitting in the every states and they wanted to control the state. That's what democracy does not only die in the big attack of cops, attacks. It also dies slowly, quietly when the poorest people lost their right to vote. So at the same time, the education, because through the governor, the center wants to hijack a state universities and turns them into institution controlled directly from Delhi. Just like IIT, AIMS, and as well as IIMs. What is happening? There is no reservation in IIT, AIMS. The same situation would happen to all the university very soon. Through governor, they wanted to control all the universities. If the students' mind controlled by the center, then they in future generation will live like a slaves. So you have to think about how we can save this country, how we can, that Mulnivasi, once again the Bahujan, because I brought up from the Periyar movement. Periyar clearly identified who is our ideologically common enemy. We are always discussing about the rulers, but we fail to identify who is our common enemy, ideological enemy. Chhatrapati Shahuji Maharaj also in 1892, he started a movement. He started one labor movement against the Brahmins, Baniyas in this country. So he identified who is our common enemy. So common enemy is in front of us. You have to mobilize all the strength to attack the common enemy. Then only we will really see the equality-based countries and what preamble ensured us equality, liberty, fraternity that will truly come into the existence. Means we have to identify a common enemy and fight against a common enemy. In this, I conclude my speech. Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh. Jai Kanshiram, Jai Periyar.
We can create even casteless society only by becoming rulers of India.